Hello friends, welcome to the first chapter, and the only chapter really, of 2 John. It's a very short book, and a very good book. You know, I'd heard somebody else say, rather than a letter, it's more like a postcard. And he mentions at the end, the author, who is John, he mentions at the end, you know, there's so much more I can say, but I'd rather say it to you face to face. Now it's addressed to, it says the elect lady or the elect woman. Now we don't exactly know who this is talking to, but I have come to believe that it's not talking exactly to a woman, but a church. And one of Peter's letters, he mentions the elect lady in Babylon. And I think that this back then was just a code for the church. And I think that what they're doing is they're staying a little low key, because at this point the church is being persecuted. So it could be a woman that he's writing to. However, I believe that he's talking to a church, partially because at the end of the letter he says, your sister greets you. And when he's talking about the sister, he doesn't say her name either. He's just saying your sister. The church is the bride of Christ. And so the church has always been symbolized as a woman. In the church that I grew up in, we had a church that we supported in Albania, and we always called it our sister church. So it's something that we still use today. So what is this letter about? He mentions many times in the beginning of the letter, he's talking about the truth. He's saying, I'm so delighted that you and your children are in the truth. And he's saying, I greet you in the truth. And so what he's talking about here in the whole letter has to do with the truth. And he's saying that there are people that will come in and they don't believe in the truth. They don't rely on the teachings of Jesus. And they're not being loving. So what is he talking about? We know that there are a couple of heresies of the day. One is the Judaizers, people that were saying that in order to be a Christian, you need to be a Jew first. And so they're adding to the scriptures. Another one are the Gnostics. And the Gnostics had some pretty crazy beliefs. They believed in Jesus kind of in the spiritual way, but they didn't believe that the physical world was good. They believed that was wrong and bad. And so they didn't believe that Jesus was physical. You know, they believed that the Spirit of Christ came upon this man. And so they had some weird beliefs too. But again, it's like they're going beyond what the scriptures are saying. And I'm led to believe that these Judaizers and the Gnostics were not the most loving bunch of people. Because any time that he's trying to guard the people against these, he says, you know, make sure that you're following the teachings of Jesus and being loving. So toward the end of the letter, he says, make sure that you don't invite these people into your house. Now, what does this mean for us? I mean, really, what does this whole book mean for us? What I think this part means right now is that, well, there was a debate that two friends of mine, they were actually brothers. They worked at the same company that I worked at, and on break time one time, one of them said that some Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses came by his house. And so he loved to debate Christianity, and he's a great defender of his faith. And so he sits down with them and offers them food and starts talking to them. And the other brother says, I don't know if you should be doing that. You know, 1 John says when these people don't believe in the scripture, when they're not teaching the things that we know to be true from Jesus, that we shouldn't greet them and we shouldn't let them into our house. And so they were kind of going back and forth, like, is this right? Is this wrong? And honestly, I'm not going to take a harsh stance on this. You know, it could be dangerous if you are not strong in your faith to bring these people into your house and have them talk to you. I wouldn't recommend that for anybody, but I don't necessarily think that's what it's talking about, because I believe that this letter was written to a church and not to a person. I believe what he's saying is that if these people are coming in and they want to teach you, you know, if they want to come in and teach in an authoritative position and come in and say, look, Jesus didn't come in the flesh, you would say, no, you are not allowed to teach here. You're not teaching what we believe to be true. This is a way of safeguarding the church. This is a way of keeping it so that the church is holy, is teaching the true gospel, and is not teaching heresy. So he's saying, don't accept these people into your church. However, it is saying house, and back then it was a house church. And so, yeah, you know, you can go both ways with it. But what does this mean for us? I think it is very, very important to make sure that the teachers that you rely on, the teachers that you follow for your spiritual life, are ones that believe very closely in the teachings of Jesus from the people who were actually there. So, rely on the teachings of Jesus and from the Bible. If you are following people who are adding on to the scriptures or subtracting from the scriptures, you are in a dangerous, dangerous place. And if you are in that place, then you should not greet these people. You should not associate with them anymore. You should walk away, because they are toxic to your life. They are toxic to your relationship with God. So anyways, that is 2 John, the entire book. See you tomorrow when we get to 3 John. All right, have a great day. Bye.